been getting a ton of questions on who to use gold and silver promotion credits, and I'm going to title this video, Why You Should Not Use Gold Promotion Credits specifically on Phoenix. Now, it's a nuanced discussion that is up for debate, but I'll explain why you should or should not use, most probably should not use gold promotion credits on Phoenix. And I think that discussion will help you make decisions on other characters like Ebony Maw and Minerva, why you should not be putting gold promotion credits then, and maybe you should be considering other characters like Black Bolt, Symbiote Spider-Man, and or Thanos as good candidates for gold promotion credits. Now, first things first, I want to start this conversation off by saying that every single character in the game benefits by getting red stars. Red stars boost health, damage, armor, focus, and resistance. So very logically that every single character in this game gets a benefit from health. Every single character in the game gets a benefit from resistance. Now, some characters are going to get more benefit from focus. You know, if they put a lot of positive status effects, the focus will help them. Some characters have self-healing or healing-based effects that heal off of their health pool, so they're going to get more benefit from health. And then some characters are just stats and they need tons of damage, where other characters, most of their abilities have nothing to do with damage and they don't get any of the benefit from damage. And so I just want to talk about Phoenix Kit and the way that the Phoenix gameplay goes. Typically, you start the battle off, and turn one, you do Bestow Light. Now, Bestow Light applies stealth to all allies for 2 turns, apply defense to all allies, redistribute max health from all self to allies, and then all allies receive an additional 10,000 health. This bypasses heal block. Now, you get all the negative effects, and that's fine. This technically doesn't do any damage, and this ability really doesn't get much benefit from having red stars other than the amount of health that she has that she gives to allies. But usually they're at max health at the start of the battle. So technically this first ability right here receives no benefit from additional red stars. Like if you have a 5 red star Phoenix, taking her to 6 is not going to help this ability. And I'll get to why this is kind of a nuanced conversation. And technically right now you want Phoenix to die, so actually having low red stars would be better right now. Then she does die, and when she dies, she goes into her summon. And when she comes into the summon, she technically does damage right here. And this damage right here, this ability, this passive ability, when she does die and Dark Phoenix is summoned, is red star dependent. Yes, 1000%. Then you do Vitality Drain, which is steal 20% health. This doesn't matter about her red stars. Now she's in Dark Phoenix 100% beast mode, and you want her to stay alive. So yes, you want her to have the highest red stars possible, and this does a crap load of damage, and you want her to have the highest red stars possible. Got it? So you can see why there's a very strong case for Phoenix to not put gold, not take her to 6 or not take to 7. Other thing too is ISO 8 is coming out, and this is not confirmed, but on the last version of ISO 8, it appeared that the Phoenix summon and also like when Mr. Sinister clones things, they don't get the benefit from ISO 8. Maybe Phoenix isn't a good choice for those very, 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 very valuable gold promotion tickets. We're talking about taking her from 5 to 6. Now, I do think there's a lot of benefit to having her at 5 stars, and I was very comfortable upgrading her from 4 to 5. I didn't have a problem with that. Those were silver promotion credits, but we're talking about going from 5 to 6 and so on. Now, if today I opened a 6 or a 7 red Phoenix randomly out of a red star, I'd be pretty thrilled. She's technically a good choice because when selecting a character for promotion credits, they should be a character that you're using in many different game modes. Primarily, I want to say if you're using a character as your arena team and or your U7 team, whatever team you're running your raids, it's probably a good choice. And I pretty much can't use characters in those 2 game modes currently unless they're 4 stars. And it's not expensive to take those characters 4 stars. Characters that you're using every day, it's quite okay to use the silver promotion credits to 4 and maybe even 5. But the question is Black Bolt going to be a better choice than Phoenix? Is Symbiote Spider-Man going to be better than Phoenix? Is Thanos going to be better than Phoenix? And it comes down to, is this a kit-based character or a stat-based character? And Phoenix is technically both. Most of her first couple moves are kit-based, and they don't get a lot of benefit from red stars. All right, so that's a character that's in the middle. Let's go to the other extreme, a character that gets very little benefit from red stars. Very little. Now, she's not, like, again, if I pulled a 6 or 7, I would not be upset. I'm very happy with her at 5. If I had her at 2, I would take her to 3. If I had her at 3, I would take her to 4. But when she gets to 4, I was like, I don't know if I really need it, because she is a kit-based character, and her kit doesn't benefit much from red stars. This ability right here is max health. Doesn't benefit much from having more red stars. Her middle abilities are revive. All right. She does damage with her basic, but it's really, at the end of the day, a tickle. And the going up and a little bit more damage is not going to be that much. Again, I wouldn't be upset. So this is to me a low priority character. I would not be thinking about taking her to 5 to 6. Now let's go to a character that is actually on the top of my list right now. And he's actually mostly a kit-based character, but all of his abilities does damage. All of this does damage. This does damage. This does damage. And then his passive is kind of a very interesting one. This drain ability. Gain Drain. This is an ability that appears in raids and dark dimensions. Gain Drain. Now, Drain is like a doubling down and gets double benefit from red stars. And I think it's probably makes him one of the highest priorities for getting red stars, because Drain is based on how much damage you get that much back in health. So having a higher health pool is cool, and doing more damage is good. That's amazing. Also, this reason why Symbiote Spider-Man is on the top of my radar for recommendations for people to say, hey, should I do Thanos or Symbiote Spider-Man? Oh, that's a tough choice. Both. Should I do, you know what I mean? Should I do Black Bolt or Symbiote? Oh, those are great choices. Symbiote Spider-Man, there's 3 symbiotes. We've got rumors of 2 more coming to the game. What is that going to look like when we have 2 more symbiotes? Symbiote Spider-Man's the top of my list. Let's talk about Thanos. Thanos is on top of the arena. He does damage. He has a high health pool. I use him inside of U7. He has drain abilities. He has drain abilities. And when he goes into empowered, his empowered mode also does drain. I'm just saying, this drain mechanic gets a lot of benefit from red stars. Now, another question I get, should I take 2 5s to 6 stars? Should I spend, would you rather have 2 6s or 1 7? I've always gone for the 6s. I've typically opted to upgrade characters with the promotion credits from 5 to 6. And I specifically, a lot of people have been asking if I'm going to take Thanos from 6 to 7. I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to wait off. I'm pretty happy with him at 6. Black Bolt is another good choice. Every single one of his abilities has something to do with damage, and so they get the full benefit from red stars, specifically his passive. Being able to pop somebody off when they drop below the threshold is clutch, especially when you've got taunters out there and you're able to hit the back line with an AoE, and then he finishes them off. And having more damage does that, facilitates picking people off. Plus also Black Bolt's one of my favorite characters. So again, Thanos, Black Bolt, Symbiote Spider-Man, amazing choices, a lot of benefit. Those are probably my top 3 picks. I actually put promotion credits into 2 out of those 3, and then I just got lucky on Black Bolt, but I've been very happy with them. 2 characters that I would say caution on right now would be Phoenix and Mr. Sinister, for the reasons that I mentioned just a moment ago. It's uncertain how ISO 8 is going to work with the clones and the summon on Dark Phoenix, right? The way it works right now, they wouldn't be getting the benefit from ISO 8, and the red stars. So I put pause on that. Now, Mr. Sinister has been a character that we've typically recommended, that I personally have recommended taking to high red stars, and I did take him from 5 to 6 because his stats on his clone are based off his red stars. But will that change with ISO 8? I'm not sure. Ebony Maw, Emma Frost, and Minerva. I like I said, again, I would be pretty thrilled if I pulled high red stars on those 3 characters. But Ebony Maw and Minerva technically are kit-based characters, and they don't get a lot of benefit from the red stars themselves. Yes, they gain focus. Yes, they gain resistance. Yes, they gain a higher health pool. All of that is useful, but their kits don't really do damage. Ebony Maw has a max health drain ability like Minerva, and Phoenix middle ability and Dark Phoenix. So he doesn't get a lot of benefit from red stars unless you're doing basic attacks all the time. Emma Frost is more important to have red stars, in my opinion, than Ebony Maw and Minerva, mostly because of this on-turn heal self for 15% of max health. This is super annoying to go up against a 6 or a 7 red star inside of war, because this becomes like Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel also is an amazing character to have high red stars on it. She's not as important as she used to be, and I'm trying to focus on characters that are getting used constantly, mostly in arena and raids. So this is high benefit. So I think if you're thinking about this process, the first question is how often am I using this character? Is this going to help me in raids? Is this going to help me in credit? If the character is somebody that you're using all the time, they're a good candidate for red stars. Then the second question is, does this character kit benefit from the red stars? Does it just basically give them a health and resistance boost? Because that's like, if you put red stars of Minerva, that's all you're doing is you're getting a health boost and a resistance boost. Now, it's true her passive is based off of her health, but there are other characters where almost all of their kit gets benefits from the red stars. And my favorite pick right now is Symbiote Spider-Man, only just because looking for the future. I hope that makes sense. At the end of the day, every character gets benefits from red stars, but those gold promotion credits are very valuable, and I hope that you are putting them on your main arena team and your U7 team, and characters that you love and you use all the time, as opposed to characters like Minerva or Ebony Maw. Probably you're not going to get as much benefit. And believe me, there are tons of other characters that are quite good to put red stars on. Is all. Ask around, ask your alliance mates, but just keep the principles in mind. How often do I use this character? And is this character a stat-based character that benefits from red stars on all of its abilities, or is it a kit-based character where large parts of his kit and his move progression have very little benefit to that? Technically, Emma's in that category with this ability and her middle ability, but the healing is quite important. I hope that makes sense as a general guide and helps you make better decisions. And like I said, ask your alliance mates. And as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming. Bye.